Firstly, I want to introduce myself first. My name is Nurul Hidayah. My metric number is A175169 and my group member's name is Nur Shazwani A175335, Nur Azlina A174907, Siti Khadijah A175014 and Fairuz Nazirah A176797. What is sport? Sport pertains to any form of competitive physical activity or game that aims to use, maintain or improve physical ability and skills while providing enjoyment to participants and in some cases entertainment to spectators. Sport is one of the most suitable leisure activities to be done by various sections of society in this country. In fact, the sport brings many benefits to individuals, communities, and nation implicitly. So, the topic to be discussed in this video is importance of sport in a student life. I and with my group members have prepared some questions related to the topic discussed, that is important of sport in a student life, and I'm looking for some respondents to answer the question we made about our topic. There are 5 questions that will be answered by 5 respondents. Let's see what answer our prospective respondent will answer to answer the given question. Question number 1. What is your favorite sport and how much time you spend for it in a week?
Favorite sports is playing football and playing futsal. So I spend my time to playing futsal and playing football twice a week or maybe once a week.
My favorite sport is playing basketball. I usually spend 3 to 4 hours on the weekend to play it.
My favorite sport is badminton. I usually spend about 3 hours a week.
My favorite sport is workout like squat, push-up and lunges, then using all the equipment at gym, and I spend for 1 until 2 hours 3 times per week.
My favorite sport is playing badminton. I like it because I can improve my health through playing it.
Question number 2. How fast sport can teach us discipline, team spirit and time management?
So by playing sports, we can improve our discipline because we playing sometimes we have a coach, so we can improve our discipline and also we can improve our time management as we are very punctual when we are going to play the football or futsal, and also can improve the team spirit as we playing football and futsal with the team.
Personally, I think that sport teach us to be more punctual, accept all the advices from the coaches and strengthen the bond between teammates as we spend our times together.
For me, in any sports, there are steps and rules that we need to follow, so it will teach us to be disciplined. Sports can also build team spirit with our friends and partners. Lastly, we need to arrange our time management carefully when we are doing sports because we also need something else to do, and if we overdo sports also, it is not good for our bodies.
We are all incredibly busy. There's so much in going on life, so it can be tough to make room for yourself, even for your health. That's why it's imperative to be self-disciplined with the time you have to dedicate for your training. From aspect of team spirit and time management, you need to make a room for life to be happen and be realistic about what you can do. If you have an open schedule and you want to spend 1 hour or 2 hours in the yoga or Zumba class together with your team, that would be great.
Individuals who want to success in sport must have high discipline and be able to control themselves to abide by the set rules. For example, every player on a team must be on time, practice hard and obey the coach instruction.
Question number 3. How you balance time of study and sport?
Manage to balance my study and sports by I usually play sports during weekends, so maybe during weekdays I focus on my study.
I only play basketball on weekends as I don't have any classes that day.
Usually, I will study at night and do sports in the evening or during weekends only. I also won't do extra sports if things in my lessons are not finished yet.
Firstly, schedules and objectives. If you want to stay in shape without cutting into your study time, it's important to set a schedule and objectives. They have to be flexible so they don't interfere with your study time.
What I do is finish the important task first and then move on to the ones that will be less crucial.
Question number 4. When is the right time for us as students to play sport and how often?
For me, the right time for students to play sports is maybe during weekends or during their leisure time. But how often is depends on the person itself, because sometimes the persons are the what we call are the professional player or maybe playing for a club. So maybe he or she will often play that sport.
I think that it's the best to play any sports during weekends or any free time that we have.
For me, the right time to play sports for students is in the evening or during weekends, about 4 times a week.
As for me, it depends on what course do you take. What is your prioritize? Like, are you a first year, second year, or already final year? As for me, if you have free time or not too busy, you can do 1 hour for every day. But if you have a tight schedule like me as a final year student, you can do minimum like 3 times per week with 2 hours consistently.
As a student, suitable time to play sport is in the evening, at least twice a week.
Question number 5. In your opinion, will playing sport or participating in competition in sport give more advantage to students or will cause students to fall behind in lesson?
Students playing sports or participating in the competition will give more advantage for the student, as long as the students are able to manage their time well and also not put their studies behind.
In my personal opinion, I believe that playing sports will never interrupt in studying as long as we not go beyond the limit between studying and playing sports. By the way, actually it benefits the student to pay more attention during classes and improves our study as well.
In my opinion, playing sports or participating in sports will give students more advantages than falling behind in lessons. It is because by doing sports, our mind and body will be healthy. A healthy lifestyle can help you with a good mindset. However, lessons should be given priority and should be scheduled well.
In my opinion, gymming or any kind of physical activity in moderation is really good at any stage, and especially if you are a student or preparing the competitive examinations. Remember, any exercise is better than no exercise any day. The key is to have a proper sleep and a balanced diet along with a light to moderate exercise for best results. The time duration for exercise should be anywhere between half an hour to 2 hours per day. This time can be divided into short intervals throughout the day.
My opinion, playing sport is not the cause of the deadline in their academic performance, but it is because they do not plan and balance their time in sport and lesson.
Well, we have seen and heard the answer that have been given by the respondent. Do you agree or disagree with the answer given? Can I conclude based on the answer given by the respondent that sport is also an activity of filling leisure time with beneficial? This is because game or recreational training sessions are usually conducted at leisure. Our business participating in training and recreational sessions can